Welcome back to the Donovan Stargell vlog podcast. We don't even really know what to call it right now. It's the Donovan Stargell show. How about that? We got the vlog, podcast, all of that covered if we just say it like that. So we really making up the show as we make the show. I think that's what they mean by when they say just press record. Anyways, so I want to talk to y'all about a couple of things, okay, that have been generating some traction on the social media side of things, and then also on the news cycle. Now, I will say that I haven't been tuned in to a lot of the mainstream news cycles, so I wouldn't know how much this is circulating, but it certainly needs to be, I think, talked about. And that's why we're going to talk about the illegal alien that lit a woman on fire on the subway. And then we're also going to talk about these ungrateful people during Christmas and how I've been seeing all of these things on social media about parents and their kids being ungrateful. And then even parents, like we're going to show in a clip here of how parents have acted out being ungrateful. So when we're talking about what's going on in our country and the direction that we need to move our country, and whatever you went out to vote for, that's perfectly fine. We're not going to get into all of that. One of the key topics on my agenda when I cast my ballot was the problem that we are, I think, yet to see in a full spectrum. And so more or less the potential problem, but the problems that we have seen is the fact that when folks are coming over here and being incentivized to do so illegally and being rewarded for doing so, where there's all kinds of terrible consequences. And one of those being when they're incentivized to bring children, they're doing all kind of dangerous things to even get here, and they're bringing children along. I don't even want to, I hate the R word. So I very much dislike the R word. And so I'm not going to use that word, but you're seeing all those types of things happening. You're seeing, again, kidnappings. It's just diabolical and it needs to stop. And you might say, well, there's people with kind hearts and that are going to only do good things here, that maybe have low skills, but are going to bring whatever skills they have and try to improve the climate, if you will, the social climate, if you will, in our country, and just help make our lives better. Well, I would say I would challenge that position by saying, how many, if there's 1,000 people that are going to do good, and there's one person who only has the intentions or whose main objective is to do harm, whether that be stealing, killing, R-ing, okay, things like that. How many of those people, and that have done that in the past, that have done that in the countries that they're coming from? And so I'm not going to be afraid of the word rape anymore. Okay, right? So folks that have committed rapes, folks that have committed murders, folks that have built a career of theft. Okay, how many of those individuals, is it 1 to 1,000 that we're willing to say, okay, let's just turn a blind eye to this problem, okay, and not do so much to make sure that we know who's coming into our country, because we have 1,000 people that are going to do no harm, and then we have, amongst those 1,000, we have one that for sure is going to be a rapist, for sure going to be a killer. He's done it in the past. That's, they're the only way this person brings in money or gets any kind of means of feeding themselves is by killing and stealing and stuff. So how many of those people are we going to turn a blind eye to? I would say one is too many, and you could stack that number against 10,000 if you ask me. So we do have, and I'm not going to show the clip of a lady who has been burnt to death by an illegal immigrant, alien, whatever you want to call them. I think that is a mark on anyone who's trying to come into this country. And again, if you're going to do it illegally, I think therein lies an issue in and of itself. If the immigration system's broken and we need to do things to fix it, and people really want to get here, well, then unfortunately, they're going to have to wait. And then we're also going to have anybody who's willing to stand up for illegal immigration to go out and try to create and help to facilitate a conversation about how we can do things to expedite and to be able to qualify folks that are going to come here and do us no harm and are only going to improve the conditions of the folks that have been here for generations and the folks that are doing the right thing by immigrating into this country, improving their lives. Okay, so that's one topic of discussion. I'm going to challenge you to go out and, if you haven't seen this on your local news, I think I know why. I think I could imagine that the mainstream media that has put up a fort and has demonized people like Greg Abbott for trying to protect our sovereign nation and our border here in Texas, all the rhetoric that you can find that's negative about him in the mainstream media. I don't think this situation in New York on the subway, where this guy lights this woman on fire and then has the audacity to sit and watch her burn as people frantically scramble to try to do something to help this woman who eventually is no longer with us. Okay. So just food for thought. I would say, if you were out casting a ballot, now the work starts. Now the actual scorecard, and I'm excited to see what this new coming Trump administration is going to do to back up what they pledged to do. I feel like they're really going to follow through, but just wanted to kind of let you know that I think there's some brighter days coming in terms of making sure that we're vetting and qualifying folks from coming to this country and putting a clamp on people that intend to do it illegally. So that's my word on illegal immigration. Now, let's turn to this holiday season. I got my red on still. I'm repping my Texans. And side note, that was a brutal, brutal demonstration. I don't know what's going on with my boy CJ. I hope that the 3-day turnaround was just maybe a little bit too much for him. He's a young guy. He's still probably learning a ton as he continues to build his professional career. But that demonstration against the Baltimore Ravens at home, I was actually in the stands with my wife, and we enjoyed every bit of it, Beyonce included. And at the same time, big Lamar Jackson fan here. So, there was no way I could let off any booze. I kind of felt like the guy was going to come up and go bananas, and he absolutely did put on a show. And so next to Beyonce, that was a heck of a performance by the Baltimore Ravens. I think our defense, stellar as they are, were the only people that were able to even get us points on the scoreboard. D'Amico can't really take anything away from the guy. Awesome play caller, decision maker, leader. Probably should have kicked that field goal. Gave Kamini, give the drummer some. Give the drummer some on this one. We're 4 yards out. Let's kick a field goal. Let's get some points on the board. Let's build some morale. Let's cut into this deficit that we were already facing. I think it was 14-0 at the time. Not too certain, but at the same time, let's get some numbers on the board for the offense again to boost some morale, get some momentum going. Didn't see that happen, and that turned out to be a diabolical decision. And seeing as that was about as close as we got to scoring, and we didn't even do it. So love my Texans. Go Houston Texans. I'm a Houston guy, born and raised Katy, Texas. So still got a rep. Not tripping. So just for all those that noticed that I have my Texans gear on, I'm sorry. The bandwagon didn't have my name on it since 1986. All right, but turn it to Christmas and all of the ungratefulness, and it's just like the whole thing of it is we live in this beautiful country. Take your camera phone out and start your little vlog or something to get, an audience built up, and maybe one day you can monetize it. I don't know. That's probably too long tail for some of these short tail thinkers, people that, only really, I don't want to cast any dispersions, but, folks that don't have a trade, don't have a skill, you're over the age of 21, you're old enough to be able to go out and find something that you gravitate towards, to build a trade, to continue to build a career towards something, instead of being someone who's, trying to flag down Lil Pump and grill him because he ain't give you the toy for your child that you wanted for Christmas. So without further ado, all right, we back. We back. So the alpha cam done went out. That's cool. We got the beta cam. We still in 1080p, so we good. We're gonna roll it here. So, but without further ado, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna share my screen and let you see what I saw that was startling. And then unfortunately about what I saw was I actually was able to kind of get a glimpse of more of this conduct or misbehavior, however you want to say it, from on other videos, but this one particularly stood out to me. It says, ungrateful woman from Jack Daughtery, old streams gets denied extra PS5 at his Christmas giveaway. was she wrong or was Little Pump wrong? And I'm gonna let y'all watch it real quick and give you some feedback.
Okay. All right, I know you say you wanted a PS5. There you go. There you guys go. We gotta keep it one per, like.
Yeah.
Just so many other people.
Because like there's more people over there.
He went with them.
Bro, let's go over there.
People are.
Come on, guys. Like
There's 1,000 people out here.
Yeah, oh my daughter. I came with my daughter.
look, basketball.
Your
Basketball.
name.
Go ahead.
Your name. Okay, bad.
Yo, are you serious? That's very greedy. That's super greedy. That's super greedy. Super greedy. No, that's it. That's it. Super greedy. That's it. You know, I was rich. No, listen. I was very poor when I was a kid, and if somebody handed me a basketball, I would have been so happy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You should be happy that we're giving away gifts. That's very rude.
That's very rude.
Nah, you're rude.
No, you're rude.
You're rude.
Oh my God, okay.
So hopefully I got the audio there. And that's Jack Doherty, forgive me. I think I should know him, but I don't like that. So anyways, I think that was another video vlogger, content creator, Jack. And of course, y'all know Lil Pump. They must have been doing a giveaway somewhere. Seems like it was a bunch of people out there. I think they said about 1,000 people were still in line when this woman was handed, I believe, someone that she was with. I think she said it was her nephew that she was with. They handed him a PS5. And then because they were together, I think it looked like about a pack of about 4 or 5 people with that adult woman there that was talking. And then they were like, okay, we got you a PS5. We need y'all to like move the line now. And so, you know, they wanted to get something for her daughter. And so they handed her something that I think was related to sports. Lil Pump said it was a basketball, or if someone gave him a basketball, he would have been excited. I didn't really see a basketball there being given out anyways. So ultimately, she was saying something to the effect of, does my daughter look like she's a boy that plays sports? And you could see that that type of behavior was not new to that child, who I would assume is probably somewhere south of the age of 9, if not 12. And with her little time on earth, has probably seen her mom act out like that because she felt incentivized to give her 2 cents and rally behind mom to, you know, pop off at these adults who are giving away stuff. And they were saying, hey, we want to give more things away to more people. We don't want to run out. You know, I think maybe the redirection, if they were really wanting to get more things and maybe something that was more, I guess, appropriate for a little girl, then they maybe could have, you know, got back in line and tried to see if there's going to be anything else left. I mean, for heaven's sakes, they just got a PS5. So, I mean, maybe she doesn't like games either, but at the same time, or maybe it wasn't even going to the same household. They were all together. I don't really know the full backstory of it all. It just looks pretty bad whenever you're at a giveaway, okay, and you're complaining. What's the old expression? Beggars can't be what? Help me out, guys. Beggars can't be choosers. And so these folks were, I don't want to say necessarily begging, but they showed up to a giveaway, probably had been standing there for a while waiting for their turn. And then there goes a back and forth with Lil Pump kind of having to lay down the hammer. And kudos to Lil Pump. Now, y'all tell me how y'all feel about the situation in the comments, but I think Lil Pump was totally on the mark. They were trying to be polite up front to say, hey, we got to keep it moving. And then we get the back and forth. And Lil Pump had to express himself. Hey, I was poor. If someone would have gave me anything for Christmas, I would have been enthusiastic about it. And so maybe with the Christmas spirit and the generosity that we're trying to emote for the community, be a little bit more gracious. She wasn't having it. I think she was totally out of line. I think that I also saw some other videos where I think kids were disappointed. And I even saw one, well, that was another one that I saw where a lady had gotten toys from some charity that gives away toys. And so she got some boots and jackets for her kids, and, you know, it wasn't enough, some Play-Doh and, you know, maybe like a baseball mitt or something. And she didn't feel like it was good enough. At the same time, you know, Christmas is the time for folks to be charitable. It's a time for togetherness and, you know, all of those experiences. It also is a time, I think, with the new year coming up, to reflect and to think, hey, as a parent, what could I do to up my game to be able to provide the types of gifts and toys that my children most desire? And that opportunity to reflect, maybe she's going to go home and do that. Maybe that back and forth going viral now for looking like, I think, a complete jerk or a buffoon, maybe that'll wisen her up. I'm doubting it, but I just had to throw my 2 cents in. Y'all tell me how y'all feel in the comments. And wrapping this up, thanks for joining me again on another episode of the Donovan Stargell Show. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. And that's all, and we'll see you next time.